everybody. A long time no see. I missed you all, and I'm really glad to be back. And tonight I'm here with some great news. Brandsasia has grown a lot over the past few months. If you all know, we started with around 100 followers long, but right now we have over 14,000. Would you believe that? So, Brandsasia continues to give you guys the freshest programs. That's why tonight will be extra special because tonight we have two of the stars of Temporary Insanity's latest and most controversial BL or Boys Love series, Love at the End of the World. I'm Lance Raymundo, your host, and this is Rated R.
Markki Stroem is a Filipino-Norwegian singer-songwriter, TV and radio personality, theater, TV, and movie actor, producer, director, and arranger. He was popularly known for his participation in the first season of Pilipinas Got Talent as a finalist. After PGT, his acting career bloomed. He starred in a lot of films, which earned him multiple nominations. In 2013, he played his first gay role in the film Slumber Party. 8 years after that, Markki continues to accept projects that portray the LGBT community. Recently, he has confirmed that he will be part of the new BL Filipino series, Love at the End of the World, as Mark. Nicco, on the other hand, is an Italian-Canadian award-winning actor and celebrity TV host based in Manila, Philippines. He is best known for his roles in the films Sabado and Culion. He is now back with a new challenging role as Tony of the new Filipino BL series, Love at the End of the World.
So everybody, let's welcome to the show, Nicco, Locco, and Markki Stroem. Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, Lance?
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
You, man. First time I ever met Markki, I don't know if you even remember, si Shandy brought me to the premiere of Slumber Party, man.
Oh my gosh, Slumber.
Yeah, and there was a celebration sa Opus pagkatapos nun, and we shared a table with Shandy. But it was a long time ago. My hair was probably this long. So
OMG!
So I saw that, dude. And of course,
Slumber
the same guy trained,
Party.
Slumber
10
Party.
years ago. My gosh,
10
that's
years to
so
be there.
long. And this is, basically, I think, because I think that was around like
Plus,
2011,
kung Opus
2012.
pinapag-usapan, that's 10 years ago.
May Opus pa ba?
May Opus
Tanong.
pa,
Yun, so like, that was, you know what, I've heard of, everything that's been happening in your life, especially through my Coach Culver.
Yeah.
He tells me that you guys train together, and I'm all
True.
about the healthy lifestyle and keeping fit. So I'm always updated because I always see Culver's stories, so I know that you're keeping fit, and it's very important, especially now during the age of COVID, that we
I know, and it's so
keep
cool
ourselves
that
healthy.
we never really got to talk during that Opus night, no? And now pa lang we're talking and it's online.
Yeah.
Ito namang si Nicco.
New normal.
The first time I met him, si Shandy brought him to my birthday party that Viva Entertainment threw for me at the executive lounge. And that was like, 2 or 3 years ago? But we've kept in touch online. So it's really awesome to have both of you here in our show tonight. And we're going to be discussing this really controversial show of yours. So for starters, you might want to say hello to your fans. I'm sure everybody's tuning in right now. And give us an overview, a bird's eye view of what Love at the End of the World is all about. Who wants to go first? Bahala kayo.
I think Nicco should go first, our producer.
A brief synopsis of Love at the End of the World. It's boys love erotic thriller suspense series starring Markki, ako, Yam, maraming actors. It's actually a really big cast. There's around 10 of us. Produced by Temporary Insanity Pictures, directed by Shenny Bacolod. And it's a very unique story. It's about 4 couples essentially. And it's 7 days before the end of the world. There's an asteroid that's going to hit Earth. And anyways, it zones in on the lives of 4 couples. Tapos, it kind of shows their sadness, redemption, all sorts of experiences that they have with each other, leading up to the end of the world. And I mean, maraming nangyari sa series. Markki can attest to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's something else. It's this is actually such a great absurd piece, and I love absurd pieces because you don't know what exactly is going to happen next.
Yeah.
which is so much fun. I'd rather have it like that than a linear story that, you know, you already understand and know what's going to happen at the end, because it's narrated in a way that kind of tells you hints at the ending. But this one, you don't know where the characters are going to go, how they're going to link up, or what's going to happen to them at the end.
You know, the title alone, di ba? It like really sparks a lot of curiosity. So, bilang mga artista, no, of course, a project is presented to you guys before you accept it. And what was, sige, Nicco first. When you were first presented with this project, what was your thoughts about the title? What came into your mind when you were offered a project that's called Love at the End of the World?
Well, of course, my eyebrows tasang kilay ko when I saw the title. Kasi medyo kakaiba. And the fact that it's a BL series as well, I don't think anybody in the Philippines has seen something quite like this. So of course I kind of jumped at the idea, and this being my first BL series, kinakabahan ako, of course, kasi I mean it's very different than any other genre, and BL really has a cult following. So I was kind of nervous when Shandy first presented it to me, but after reading the script, I said yes, let's do this. Like I had no second thoughts in my head, just because the writing. Our writer, sorry, C. Rafa is very intellectual and articulate with the way he writes it. So sold ako right away. And the plot, the way it's written, the characters, sobrang kakaiba. Like once you see it, you'll be amazed, lads. It's out of this world.
Thanks for your insights. What about C. Markki, naman? What was
On
your
the other side of
thoughts
this,
about the title?
on the other side of the spectrum, actually, I came from a BL series last year. When this in the onset of BL, I was in a show that was produced by Taiwanese streaming site Gaga Ulala, which is an LGBT content site,
Okay.
and I was in a show called Unlocked, and that was very risque. So when I was presented with this project, Love at the End of the World, and I was actually asked by my co-star in Unlocked, Mike Liwag, who's also part of the show, if I could.
Si Mike, I know him.
Yeah. So
All right.
I was like, I know his capabilities as an actor, and he was telling me the people in the cast. See, Gold was also in Unlocked, who's Nico's partner in his show, his episode, and I knew the capabilities of these actors, and I'm floored by their amazing acting skills. So I said, let me give this a shot and let me read the script. So when I was given the script, I automatically and heard from the mouth of the genius behind this, Shandy Bacolod, I was floored. I loved the story. I loved where my character and all the characters who are all lost in their own frameworks, the last 7 days of the world, how are you supposed to react? Like the world's gonna end in 7 days, right? So everything is times 10. Everything is much more, urgent. We have to do this now to be able to tell who we love about how we feel. So when I read that, I was automatically drawn to the story, and I really wanted to be part of the cast. So I was actually the last person cast in this show. Yeah, so it was just something else. I'm thankful that I think someone backed out because if they didn't back out, I wouldn't have been part of the show.
Yeah, I think someone actually backed out, but I mean,
Yeah.
we're happy to get Markki as our last cast member, and
Well, you guys now have Markki Stroem.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. I'm very honored, and I'm happy these award-winning actors that I'm working with. Not just that, they're just some of the best on stage, on TV, indie films. A lot of the BL actors that I've seen, and a lot of people have fallen in love with, and I'm really excited to work with each and every single one of them. Even if I don't share scenes with a lot of them, maybe I do eventually. I don't want to spoil anything, but I just love working with each and every single one of them, and it's like a family, right? So
the first time I encountered this title was because I follow Nicco. We follow each other in social media, and I'm following you right after we take this, Markki.
no problem. I'll follow you back.
The first time I saw this title, what struck me was that sort of apocalyptic feel. No? It's almost very similar to what we're going through now, because our lives right now, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Diba? So
Exactly.
when you fall in love with someone at times like this, it's probably something really intense. So people can really relate to what's probably going to be happening to your character. So everybody's excited.
Yeah,
I'm sure of that.
and thank you for that. But like, yeah, we're excited to show everyone what we have
So
in
now,
store for you all.
here's my question. So you kind of answered it a little bit, but we're just curious how you got casted for this role. Si Nicco muna.
I got casted. Well, the way Shandy casted for this series is we didn't have any auditions or any callbacks or anything quite like that. Shandy had somebody picked out for each character.
Oh,
And
okay.
medyo catered ang roles to each actor. That's how Shandy wanted it. So when she created the roles, she had an actor in mind right away.
But that's very
and then-
Shandy, bro.
Yeah, and then selectively picked them like that. So it wasn't really the typical audition process where you're sending in audition tapes or reading parts of the script. Pero I mean, each role is really bagay to the actor, and I think every actor will attest to this. When they were acting out the role and working on the script, they were super comfortable with the lines because it was extremely relatable for them in some sort of way. And I think that's actually personally why I loved my role, is because I could really relate it to my personal life. Although I wasn't exactly the character that I played in Love at the End of the World, Tony Smith, but I could relate to it in some sort of way. And I think that's kind of the beauty of acting, right? Is you just find ways to connect your personal experiences to the character. And I was definitely able to do that.
We have a slight idea of Markki's story about this naman, but without naming who that person is, how did the role eventually fall into the lap of someone as big as Markki Stroem?
Well, thank you for that. But you know what? It was something that kind of fell into place at the right time, because my schedule, I have a radio show in the morning, and a lot of my schedules where I was supposed to start a hosting show in September or August got moved to September. So as I was able to tape during the time that they allotted for the taping, because I really wanted to do the project, but I just needed to find the right schedule. But what was interesting is that this was a kind of a challenge for me character-wise. I usually play characters who talk a lot, who are the contrabida, or the bad guy, or the anti-hero, especially even on stage when I do theater plays, because I've been doing plays as well, until COVID. But this particular role was kind of a challenge in a sense that it's a provinciano.
Oh wow!
Without any of my slang, I had to change my accent.
Okay,
So I had to
that's
find an
interesting.
accent coach. I also had to change the color of my skin because I didn't want to look too mestizo for the role, because that didn't
man.
fit. So I tanned like literally an entire week before just to get the correct color for the role. I also really that's why I worked out twice a day, because I really needed to get this body, this farm boy's body, for the character that I need to play. So it wasn't necessarily tailor fit for me, but I guess as a theater actor, you take any challenge, and you don't want to look like it's Markki playing the role of Mark. You want it to be Mark. We want to see Mark. You want to see the character come to life without hiding behind you as a person. I don't know if that makes sense, but this was tough. It was a hard character for me to get into, but I'm happy I did, because it really pushed me to take on another project that I'm actually working on now.
That's really something to look forward to. We're all excited to see a provinciano version of you, man. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. So
Well,
hopefully
I
it translates.
kinda
It's not super provinciano naman. It's a mixture. Kasi it's like
Yeah.
he moved from the province, but
First still, man, that's
Yeah.
very interesting, and that's something to admire talaga for theater actors.
we had to change the F and the P. You know, Of course, instead of course.
I've been
diba?
through that in some roles I got then. I know it's difficult for knowing you. I'm sure every day,
Hopefully
all
it
of you
did.
guys. And I
Hopefully
saw
it did.
the cast, ang gagaling ng mga cast members nga pala talaga.
Oo nga.
So ito, so you got casted, and of course, after being casted, dumating na yung script, no? So the first time you read the script, ano yung reaction ninyo? Maybe Markki first naman, because you always ask me to first.
Okay, I guess the first time I read the script was literally the first time we had a cast reading. I didn't get to do any workshops. I had no
Ay.
idea what this cold reading. And I was super slang the slang. When I took on this Provinciano role, I was like, wait a second, Provinciano, and then I'm reading in front of the cast, nakakahiya naman na hindi ko pa
Was this
nakukuha
live
yung
or
role.
via Zoom lang? Or you guys
Hindi
were
live. We were in a setting where we were actually having dinner.
Okay, all right.
And it was fun. It was a very informal setting where we were able to really get to know each other as well. So I was kind of scared, and obviously Direk Shandy told me, Markki, you're sounding a little bit social. You need to fix that up right away. And so I was like, okay. So I literally found someone from Bisaya to read the lines for me.
Wow, okay.
But it's not actually purely Bisaya. Initially, like, I wanted it to be super Bisaya, but then I realized he's lived a long time in this area,
Okay.
the beach area. So then I infused a little bit of Tagalog accent. So that's how the accent evolved. But that's what I like to do when I create my roles. I ask someone to read it for me, not to copy their accents. I'm actually doing that right now. I have someone with me right now doing it for a new project I'm working on.
Okay.
They read it verbatim for me, how they would say it, and then I would change the inflections as needed. But I will listen to how they say the lines in their accent, so I get it correctly when I act it.
Awesome style. I'll try that next time.
Yeah, it works. It's especially if you want to get the words correctly. Like for example, for theater, you have to be verbatim. Each line has to be as is, because the writer will sue you for copyright infringement. So if you want to get each and every single line right, you got to read it properly and say it the right way.
Thanks, bro. Si Nicco naman, when you first saw the script, was it love at first read, or did it grow on you? What was your reaction?
My first reaction, I think, was natakot, especially with how heavy the role of Tony was for me. Like, I knew going into it, this was going to be one of my most challenging roles I'd ever played, just because of the amount of breakdown scenes. Like, literally every second scene of my character is a breakdown scene, just because he's this like super depressed, malungkot, suicidal guy from the US that went to the Philippines pretty much just to commit suicide. So I was medyo worried ako if I could perform on the day of the taping and just bring all of that emotion to the table. I knew that I had it deep down and I could relate to the character in a certain way, just because of his relationship with his father. And he resorts to a tape recorder for most of his scenes, and you'll see it, lads, when you watch it. So I had to develop this relationship with this tape recorder, as opposed to feeding off of Gold in my scenes, because mostly me and Gold's scenes are masaya, kilig, parang ganon. Pero my scenes na malungkot scenes are with the tape recorder lang. So I really had to pull it from inside, and I couldn't really bounce off Gold for that.
True.
Pero after I grew with it, I mean, I like, similar to Markki, I had to go through intense preparation, not like him with the accent. My accent was on par because he's an American dude.
Yeah.
But, it was mainly physically. I had to lose weight. I lost 15 pounds just because, again, he's this depressed, suicidal guy that has given up on his body. And secondly, like I was saying earlier, just bringing all that emotion to the table and digging down deep and trying to find something with the tape recorder. But I think, sana, fingers crossed, that I was able to deliver. but it was just beautifully written, and the way the script is written, it's so detailed and articulate. And I have to thank Shandy, Bacolod, and Rafa, our writer, for that. So Sana, you'll see it, Lance, when you watch. I think you'll be impressed.
All right, guys. Before we take the short break, we're going to be showing the teaser. I actually saw the teaser an hour before this interview. I was provided the links by Shandy, and I saw both of your episodes as well as the other episodes. They're my friends din pala, no? Your episodes are both very sensual and challenging, and so it's going to be interesting for the audience to see how you guys react when the millions of viewers right now are watching it along with us. So I think it's time that we play the teasers right now while we are watching also.
Pasukin mo ako, Mark. Pasukin mo ako.
Saan man mapadpad, sa panaginip man o saan man, pangalan mo'y palaging nandyan, di makalimutan. Sa bawat araw ay nakikita, sa bawat oras ay nadarama. Dumating man ang bagyo, mag-isang nakaupo, tila di maramdaman nung ika'y nasa tabi ko. Kailangan bang masaktan para naman maramdaman? Sa bawat araw ay nakikita, sa bawat oras ay nadarama. Bye.
how does it feel? You know, this is the first time. I know people have seen the trailers, but now we watch it alongside the thousands, hundred thousands, or millions of viewers who are watching tonight with us, dito sa Brands Asia. So, what's your reaction to your own trailer? How does it feel seeing it again? I guess Nicco first, naman.
It's reactions sa trailer ko or some
Yeah. Your own trailer.
I mean, all out ako sa series, right? Like this is my first series na sobrang hubad ako sa mga scenes. So kinakabahan ako when the trailer came out and the first scene is like me laying on the beach ass naked. But Shandy Bacolod never disappoints with the way she does her teasers. Teasers pa lang eh, wala pang trailer. And just the storytelling and the voiceover with me laying on the beach was just beautifully done. Like nagulat ako, and I had goosebumps. I'm trying not to sound narcissistic, kasi I just the way she showed it, it was beautifully done. And yeah, it was me laying on the beach with this one of the most powerful lines actually of my character.
Yeah.
About loneliness and how it's the closest thing we living shall ever experience to experience death. And yeah, that's sort of the premise behind the teaser. And also at the end, it kind of shows a little scene with me and Gold, and it shows how bading Gold is. And I think the viewers really loved that kasi iba talaga si Gold in the series compared to
Magaling na yung counterpoint ninyo eh.
Yeah, Gold's my main counterpoint. And sobrang bading siya sa series. It's very nakakatuwa actually watching Gold and stuff. So I loved it. It was great. It gave the viewers a taste of what to expect for me and Gold's story in terms of the heaviness in sadness and depression, as well as the kilig factor and also the comedy factor. Because there's a lot of comedy actually in our story compared to the others.
Yeah, before we move on to Markki's reaction, I have a quick question. How did you, especially ikaw, you're a rookie when it comes to portraying sa DL. How did you prepare yourself for a teaser such as this? Teaser pa lang, how did you prepare yourself for that? How did you condition yourself that you're going to be appearing on camera that way?
I mean, I did a lot of preparation for this role. I watched a lot of BL series in Philippines, the ones that did really well, as well as Thailand, some old ones from China, some in the US. So I did my homework before doing this series because I wanted to be politically correct with my character. And yeah, so a lot of preparation went into it because, of course, I want to make sure that for my first BL role, I do a good job and Sana portrays on screen.
Thank you. So now we move on to Markki, who, as we have heard earlier, has already done a similar series before. But of course, Temporary Insanity is different. No? So
yeah.
First of all, what's your reaction to your teaser? And same question, Naren, how did you prepare for, because yours seems to be more, more out there. Like
well, with what Nicco will be showing during the show, mine is nothing. But yeah, it's very sensual. It's very farm boy, Brokeback Mountain kind of, feel of a provinciano and another provinciano hanging out at home, lying in bed, enjoying ourselves. Because sex is something that everyone experiences. I mean, when you remove the malice, it's just love. It's love between two individuals, and how do they express themselves? By engulfing themselves with each other in each other's life, in each other's bodies. And that's exactly what it showed, the passion that we had on the last 7 days on Earth. Me and Kaloy, Mark and Kaloy, experiencing whatever we needed to experience before it was all gone.
So your close friends and your families, have they seen the trailer?
Oh, the thing about I don't think they see it. I don't think they saw it, but I don't think they really mind. I'm half Norwegian, and in Norway, I remember when I was 7 years old, we drive down the fjords with our speedboats, and we see like women topless on the beach, and I'm like, Papa, what's that? Why are they all naked? And then my dad was like, they're just getting a proper tan. Like in Norway, SPG is not nudity, like literally PG
Oh, okay.
13 or G rated. You'll see it on TV, people naked on TV all the time or on magazines. That's why our AIDS, the AIDS prevalence is so low. Pregnancy is so, I mean, youth pregnancy is so low because people understand sex over there. People understand protection. Here, there is no sex education. So here it's taboo. But gun violence, on the other hand, that's PG 13. In Norway, that's rated R because they
Oh,
don't
wow.
want to
Okay.
teach people how to shoot other people. Violence is bad. So crime rate is also really low in Norway.
Ibang-iba, man.
So it's just a different way of thinking and looking at the world. For me, nudity is just a part of life. We were born naked and the rest is drag.
Pag makita ng dad mo yung trailer, sasabihin niya, nagsasunbaitin lang yung anak ko. Ganun
No,
lang.
sabi niya, bakit hindi ka nag-naked? Why didn't you just go completely naked? That's part of the rule, part of the
Yeah,
rule.
yeah. It's a different culture, so it's
it's
easy
just-
for you. Dito
Yeah,
lang
it's
naman
just
sa
how we
Pinas,
are.
no? Medyo uptight pa yung mga tao.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, I'm on a radio show called The Morning Rush, and we talk freely about like the need to introduce the Philippine people to sex education, especially in high school or in elementary school, so that they understand STDs, they understand, like youth pregnancy, that we don't want to overpopulate this country that's already overpopulated, and to understand that we need to save money before we can have kids in the future, so that they can have a good life. But a lot of that, because of religion, has really closed the doors of the people learning about sex at an early age. So for me and for my family, it's just a part of life.
Cool. And it's 2021, so it's about time we sort of step up the
And body positivity,
Yeah.
right? Hello, whatever body type you have and you're proud of your body, flaunt it. Love you, Lizzo.
True.
She's the best. Really understand and love who you are, whatever kind of body type you have. If you want to flaunt it and you want to be whoever you want to be, do it. It's your prerogative.
I
No
listen
to
Lizzo
slut
also.
shaming.
I love that one song called Juice or something.
Yeah,
Juice, diba?
juice. No to slut shaming.
Yeah, that. That girl. See, ano naman? See, what's that? Pusa pala yun. Akala ko
Yeah,
kamay na. Yeah. So you're American or Italian, so I'm sure your family did make a big deal out of your trailer as well, no?
Yeah, actually, I had.
Sila.
Hindi pa kami nag-usap, but I'm sure they would be okay with it. Like in Italy, it's just kind of like what Markki was saying. I mean, nudity is celebrated. I mean, it's a very liberal country in Italy, and we have nude beaches and we walk around naked like it's Christmas. So
This series is going to be out on YouTube, right?
no, actually it's not.
It's not. Okay.
We're releasing our teasers and some promotional stuff on YouTube, but stay tuned, brother. We have an announcement coming up of
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
platform it's going to be released on.
Yeah, but I think tama si Markki and Nicco, like our generation should be growing na rin. So we're learning from you guys, and I'm glad that the Filipino entertainment industry is also embracing these things nowadays, which merely 5 years ago would be super controversial, diba? Or even frowned upon. So now, iba na. But
To
now,
be honest, the pandemic really shifted a lot of that.
nakatulong. No?
Because TV, like, literally became very Disney. It became a place where everything was just so closed,
Yeah.
where everything was so conservative, and they couldn't stray from that because that's what they wanted to portray to the world, to the Philippines. Now that people have no choice because there's no more really TV, they shut down a network, and they realize that online is the way to go. People have been watching series. What's interesting, especially for BL, I've realized, is that the straight men have decided, oh shoot, I can actually go on a sports online streaming site and just watch sports the entire day without having to watch like some straight TV series. The girls would be like, okay, I want to watch my Korean novella. I'm going to watch that. But the gay men, the pink market, has created this thing where they have pushed the BL to being one of the most celebrated series or movies in this country.
This is
Become
not part.
the framework of
yeah.
love. Yeah.
Yeah, my follow-up question is, hindi to kasama sa script, no? But since we're talking about it, and you guys are very eloquent, do you think that the BL series also has room for straight audience?
Oh, yeah. Lots of girls watch BL. Lots
Oh,
of the biggest fans of BL are girls.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah. I think the beauty of our series, I mean, I can't speak for other BL series, but the beauty of our series is it has a lot of different aspects to it. Boys love is one aspect, but it also has this thriller, sex aspect, a bunch of different factors that go into it. So I think as a viewer, you're going to be entertained. If you're not a gay man and you're looking just because you're Malibog and you want to watch something that's sexy, there's other reasons why you'd watch our series. And that's what I love about the storytelling that Shandy portrayed in this film.
Yeah. I
Right.
do too. I
So
really do too.
Branders, now you know this is not exclusively for a certain audience, it's for everybody. So girl, boy, anybody could enjoy this.
Yeah.
So now ito na. So ito na yung ano, since we're talking about be more open, we're in a more exciting part, which is very new to this channel. Ever since nagkaroon ng teasers yung Brandsasia that you guys are gonna be guests, nagkaroon ng overflow yung inbox ng Brandsasia channel because apparently you guys have a lot of fans and they're really looking forward to this episode. And kami here at Brandsasia, we really are open to suggestions because we want to please our audience. So tonight we have the special part called Imbis na Fast Talk, it's called Real Talk. So I'm going to be asking you questions and you just tell me true or false. But to add to the visual pleasure of yung mga admirers ninyo, and since parang preview na rin ito siguro for our series that you're going to be showing, our audience would love it if you guys do this question and answer shirtless. Ano, G?
Okay. Yeah. I'm down.
Sige.
All right, so Brandsasia fans of Markki and Nicco and everything BL and Temporary Insanity related, here are our guests. Shirtless.
All right.
Let's do it.
Because these questions are basically gonna strip you guys of your inhibitions anyway, so yan, sakto na. All right, so all you have to say is kung true or false, okay? And by the way, itong mga questions na ito, hindi galing sa akin. Okay? These questions, I think it's gonna be hot to note na itong mga tanong na ito were submitted by women.
Oh,
Perfect.
interesting.
All right.
So, ako mismo na-shock, no? Nahihiya ako sa ibang tanong, but this is given to us by a woman, so here goes. Real talk. I easily get a boner during intimate scenes, true or false?
False.
False.
I've never gotten a boner in any intimate scene since my Cinemalaya movie with Althea Vega.
False for Nicco, false for Markki.
Yes.
False.
All right, para lang fair, sagutin ko rin. True.
It happens.
Oh, true.
With me,
It happens.
Romeo
It
and
happens.
Juliet, okay?
It
I'm not
happens.
part of this, but I just wanted to share. Para lang patas, no? Para hindi lang kayo sumasagot. But now, from now on, kayo na lang sasagot. Okay? Okay, here we go. Next question. I am attracted to my on-screen partner. True or false?
False.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Khalid's very
Oh.
attractive. He's a very handsome boy.
All right,
False,
thank
but
you.
I find gold cute.
Yeah, you could you know, I especially if you wanna, like, for me, if you need to build chemistry with someone, you need to find things that you're attracted to in an individual to really create that chemistry. Because if not, then it'll look fake.
That's true.
In
Gold
my
looks like
opinion.
the ex-girlfriend that I used to have. just he has very similar facial features. Just give him long hair, and he's there. Like when I was 16, that's what she looked like. So
All right.
let's see Markki.
These are the coolest answers, man. Ito naman, this is different. I admire my on-screen partner. So the term is admire naman. True or false?
I yeah,
Admire.
I admire my on.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Okay, Nico, you first.
Yeah, true. I admire his acting ability. I admire his professionalism. Super easy to work with on set. That's all I can ask for as a co-actor.
Actually, yeah, I could say the same about Gold too. He's really cool. I've the first time I worked with Gold was 2012, 10,000 hours. He played my younger brother. He played
2012, huh?
he played a young, like literally an 8-year-old kid. We were
Wow.
we're the sons of Lacson.
Wait, panahon
what's
nito
that?
ng slumber party, di ba?
Yeah, 10,000 hours. 2013 pala, 2013.
After Slumber Party.
It was a Metro Manila Film Festival. It won Best Film, I think, for that year. It's with Robin Padilla. Yeah, and so that was he's just I have only good things to say about him. I've worked with him multiple times, and yeah, I love the guy. For me naman, I really admire Khalid because he's, you know, it's tough to transition from commercials to TV or to especially something like this, something so risque like this, because
Yeah,
commercials, you know how they are. When someone does something like that, sometimes it's X. They don't want to get you anymore if you've done a sexy film or a
I hope
sexy.
it's no longer that way now, no?
I hope so too, because I called them
Yeah.
out. I literally I called out those people who
Yeah.
who started making those memorandums about on the casting calls, saying that these people are not allowed to audition. People have done sexy films, people have done BL. Kahit babae lang sa BL, bawal mag-audition. I think that's not cool.
Use your power and your
Yeah,
reach
that's what I did. I really,
for
really
that.
pushed for it. And what was great is the person in charge of that company that was called out is a friend of mine and sent me a message, says, Markki, alam mo naman, I will never do anything like that. And we talked about it and they fixed the policy. And now they're open to people who have done BL,
Oh
people who
wow,
have done
bravo,
sexy
man.
films. So I really
Great
opened
job.
the door. I tried to that aspect. And I'm for me, okay, going back to Khalid, it's tough. And I'm happy he made the first move because he is such a good actor. For doing a first movie or first series, I can only say good things about how giving of an actor he is. He was able to really, really push me as well, as a co-actor to be better in my scenes, and we really pushed each other.
All right, great. So next question ito naman. My partner is a good kisser. True or false?
Yeah,
True.
true.
All
Very
right.
good kisser.
I think that's all we need to know. Next question is, I enjoyed my intimate scenes with my on-screen partner.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
yeah,
I mean, it's a challenge for me because, like I said, first BL Locco, so it's my first intimate scene with another man on for TV. So, of course, I was nervous going into it, but it was very smooth, and we did a little bit of sensibility training before we actually got to the day, so I felt comfortable and prepared for the scene.
I guess, for me, I've done intimate scenes with women, intimate scenes with men. Have I done intimate scenes with everyone in between? Most everyone in between. I did the play called Hair. Where it was the 60s. We were hippies and we
Yeah.
had like an orgy scene on stage. So like literally for me, exploring a body of another individual, it's a beautiful thing. Because once there's certain things there's certain malices that we have in our heads that are like, this is something that we can do and this is something that we can't do because this is how we are as people. I'm a boy, therefore I'm supposed to only be attracted to women, and I'm a girl, I'm only supposed to be attracted to men. But you know what? Physically, sometimes we can look at someone and find them attractive and say, yes, this person is hot for who they are. And I will look at that as a trait that I find attractive, and work with that and evolve as a chemistry evolves, it becomes a more lucrative experience with your partner when you
Our
start to
viewers
admire them like that.
are learning a lot from you, man.
Yeah, sorry. It's just, I guess
No, but
theater.
I mean,
Theater is
yeah,
really
it's
theater
nice to
just
hear
opens
different
your mind.
insights rather than one ano lang, diba? Isang
Yeah,
linya lang ng pag-iisip.
like after
So thank
working
you.
with Angeli Bayani and and Art Acuna, like literally everything goes. They've opened my mind up to the
Yes,
world.
Angeli Bayani, of course.
Yeah, and Gen Z,
Yeah.
they're just such beautiful individuals. They've fully accepted the idea of being non-binary, having two sexes in one body, or the fact that sexuality is fluid. There's not one straight or gay individual. It's all somewhere in between, which is beautiful.
So now our next question is, I also appreciate other BL series.
True.
True.
All
I
right.
mean, some I don't,
Yeah.
but it just depends. Like,
Yeah.
some BL series, the storytelling is just piss poor and there's no art to it. But some, I mean, na-impress ako, like watching, as I mentioned, I studied for it. So it just, yeah, depends on the storytelling. And if there's a lot of thought that goes into the story and the acting is on point, yeah, there's a lot out there
Yeah.
that are acceptable.
To be honest, my favorite BL series is actually not a BL series. It's a GL series, a Girls Love series. And this is before Girls Love. This is from 10 years, almost 20 years ago. The L Word. It's one of the most beautiful series I've ever watched. It's about lesbians in LA. I had no idea about lesbians, and I was like, how am I supposed to enjoy this? I don't know anything about them. But you start to go into their world. They have their own culture. They have their own way of dealing with life, and they have love in their relationships, just like any straight couple, any gay couple, any trans couple. They have their own way of looking at the world. And that's why it's great to always check out maybe a BL or GL series to understand the complexities of these different sexualities. Because
if
they
you want a
exist.
GL series, watch anything from the CW. You watch Supergirl, it's Girls Love. You watch Batwoman, it's Girls Love.
Yeah.
They kind of embrace it at the CW, right?
Yeah,
CW.
they do. Actually, a lot of cultures, or a lot of series are actually stemming from this. There's one actually Disney movie that they don't want to talk about, but it is a cartoon series about a merman and his best friend.
Really?
I forgot what it was called. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
But I just watched it and I was like, wait a second. It's based in Italy, actually. Nicco, you should check this out.
Oh,
That's why I have to find it. Oh my gosh, wait.
While you're Googling it, just for the record, it's such a coincidence that you mentioned the L Word because si Shandy 10 years ago, that's the title of his blog. No, wala
Oh,
pang blog.
really?
Yung blog ni Shandy was called the L Word, and it's only tonight I found out what inspired him. So yun pala, maybe he probably used to watch that, no?
It's called Luca. Luca. And it's about a boy mermaid
Okay.
who
All right,
goes
guys,
up on
check out
land.
Luca.
Check it out. Check it out, guys.
Recommendation ni Markki Stroem
Yeah.
sa inyo lahat.
But it's they haven't admitted that it's a love story between two men or two boys, but that's what I got from it, and that's what a lot of people are saying, and it's all over the internet. They're like, wait a second,
All right.
this is LGBT.
This is not exactly related. Hindi dapat exactly sa inyo, no? Pero do you believe that on-screen chemistry could lead to real-life chemistry? Not necessarily you guys, but do you think that actually happens?
Uh, Can I say shit? I don't shit in my own backyard. Can I say that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I don't shit in my own backyard. If I am working with someone, I don't like to develop anything other than our on-stage chemistry or on-screen
Yeah.
chemistry, because I just don't like any complications that follows it, because we created something beautiful on in the series. I wanted to continue after and really just talk about it fondly with the people I work with. Um, but like, I guess, I don't know, maybe in the long future, if it doesn't relate to the series anymore, maybe, who knows?
All right. Then Nico naman, how do you expound your answer?
Yeah, for me, it really depends. But well, the first girlfriend I had here, I met on TV. So I can't say that it's false. But
Yeah.
it just depends. I mean, you meet people and you fall in love with people all over the place. You could meet somebody in the elevator, for crying out loud, and get along with them. But just because my work is like 70% of what I do every day, there's a good chance that I'll meet somebody at work, on set, working with them in a scene, and fall in love with them. Just because, of course, I mean, especially if it's a love scene and you guys share a romantic connection, and you really want to make it seem as real as possible, you're going to invest everything into that person. So there's a chance you might spark a love connection. Who knows? But just because it happened to me, I have to say true. But I mean, I can understand what Markki's saying, that
Yeah.
there's
I mean,
always a
at least
professionalism level
we
that
get different points of views, right? And finally, ito
Nico,
na.
I mean, listen, been there, done that. Like 8 years ago, I got into a couple of relationships that should not have happened. And it's
Yeah.
sad because we created such a beautiful on stage or on screen chemistry that kind of went down the
never
drain
ends
because now we
well.
don't talk anymore. Because it never ends. I'm not going to say it never ends well. Sometimes it ends beautifully, like Disney, but like, you know,
But in
in
real
a
life, it
lot
never
of
ends well.
real life situations, it doesn't end well. And I don't
Wait.
want that to happen.
I agree
Ito
with
na lang. Yung girlfriend mo, Nico, na na-meet mo sa work, kayo pa ba?
Yeah, tama.
No, are you still together?
Hindi. No. No, wala na.
Oh, there you go. Yun na yun.
It was devastating.
Okay, no kidding. All right.
Avoid.
Answers.
Avoid.
And finally, ito, thank you to Crystal, who created all these questions. They're all interesting questions. But finally, the last question for Real Talk is, Love at the End of the World is the best series people should definitely watch out for. True or false?
True.
100% true.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying this as an actor in this show. Like, I've done a lot of shows before that I'm not as proud of as this one. This one was a lot of acting breakthroughs happened in this one for me and a lot of my co-actors, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to Shandy for pulling it out of us, because, you know, if we weren't pushed, we wouldn't have allowed ourselves to experience these things. He has a lot of quotable quotes that he told us throughout the entire process, that I have actually like kept in my heart until today. So I'm thankful, especially for the fact that, for example, with Nicco, his focus is on depression, but depression is different from loneliness, right? Which is what we're going through, especially as an aggregate group, because we're all gonna die in 7 days. We're all lonely AF, right?
Okay.
So like, it's just a whole different thing, because one is a mental disorder and one is actually just an experience of just living or being alone, or someone who's gonna be alone forever. You know, you have that fear if you don't have a significant other or whatever. I'm lonely because I'm alone at home. I have to cook for myself. I have no one to make me happy while I'm at home. I mean, that is in essence loneliness. But once you understand self-love, then everything goes away. Like, really understanding, loving yourself for who you are, negative traits and positive traits. It's something that really pushes you towards being genuinely happy.
So there, that concludes our question and answer portion. So mga girls and all the fans of Nicco and Markki, have your last look because they're about to get their shirts back on.
Thank
All right,
God.
thanks for being such good sports. You know, I went through something similar. Four girls interviewed me, but I had to do that for just like 5 seconds. So to do it for 6 minutes or so, I won't be comfortable. But I think you guys were. So kudos to
I
you.
was comfortable.
I have to learn to be that way and be more unshy, diba?
Freedom.
Yung
was-
trailer ninyo got a lot of positive reactions. Halos lahat nga positive, no? And a lot of likes. So did that pressure you or did that fulfill you? What was the emotion of seeing such a huge positive response to yung output ninyo na trailer pala?
Yeah, nagulat ako. I mean, like you said, it was just teasers lang. It wasn't actually trailers. I
Yeah.
didn't realize how big this series would be, like how much of a hit it would be right off the bat. I thought siguro down the road na lang when we start releasing trailers and building hype up for our first episode. But the hype started like right away on the first teaser that we released. It got like, I think 100,000 views. And then
Yeah.
the second one to follow up got like 150,000 views. Like walang boosting, Lance. This is just all organic on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. And yeah, I'm just like so surprised and I'm so happy with the way it's doing right now. And I'm so proud of like the production and Shandy also, because I know that she poured her heart into this. Like she will say it herself that this is sort of a highlight of her life. Like, of course, the stories aren't what happened to her, but it's kind of disguised in a way. Now, each story is very personal to her. And that's what makes me happy that people are appreciating the art behind it and the storytelling behind it. And I'm just super excited for everybody to see it and fully appreciate the work of Shandy Bacolod as our series creator. I'm just a bridge for her vision. Yeah.
Anything to add, Markki?
For me, I'm very thankful for all the support that the LGBT community and the women in airspace, basically everyone who've been watching our trailers, the overwhelming support that they have given us. I'm just thankful also to our amazing director and captain of our ship, Shandy Bacolod, for being such a pleasure and a joy to work with. You know, sometimes we have our directors that like you don't really have a really good experience working with them because they're like,
Meron.
unhinged.
Meron.
I can't
It happens.
like I can only say very good things about Shandy. He's just someone that really motivates you, an actor's director who really tells you what exactly he wants from the scene and really pushes you to get, actually not pushes you, and really allows you to discover a way to get what he wants you to deliver.
Speaking
It's
of
you
Shandy,
discovering, not them pushing you to discover it. You will discover it yourself.
would you believe the first time I ever met Shandy, I thought she's a natural born woman.
Talaga?
Yeah, pinagkamalan ko siyang babae as in biologically female human the first time that I met her.
Was
And
she
that's her favorite story about me. Si Shandy. And that was like 13 years ago.
Bongga ang outfits niya eh.
Yeah, I was very new in the industry. Then I saw her walking by. I was like, who's that lady? I really thought it was a girl. So she's proud of that story. That's even before she started dressing up. You know, I thought, in fact, she's a boyish girl. So yeah, 13 years later, she's a celebrated director, producer, etc., etc. Hello, Shandy.
Well,
So what do you think?
I think he refers to himself as him in terms of pronouns. Him.
I don't know but
Yeah.
I just call
I asked.
Shandy Shandy. Shandy to me,
It's-
Shandy is Shandy. And knowing Shandy's genius, magaling siya mag-partner ng mga characters. So what do you feel about your chemistry with Khalid? You've had many partners, pero anong masasabi mo about your chemistry, your character, Mark and Khalid's
Kaloy?
character? Kaloy.
You know what's interesting? is that I always knew that we kind of had chemistry, especially the first time we met um, in the reading.
Okay.
But my character kasi is quiet. I was told by Shandy I was a quiet character. So if ever I wanted him to instigate
Yeah.
talking to me so that we could build our chemistry. But I guess as Khalid, he's a very shy individual. As it progressed, right, going into taping, before taping, he tried to message me a couple of times, and I would just respond with a smiley face or a thank you or whatever, right?
Nakakatakot yun.
Not necessarily. It was more like it was also building an understanding that my character really is not someone who talks too much.
Yeah.
He's quiet. He's a silent type, and Kaloy's character is a louder type. So the first time we actually met was our first workshop, and we were roommates.
Okay.
I didn't want to give a workshop, but we built chemistry. We had long conversations. We talked about our lives. We talked about who we were. We talked about our likes, our dislikes. We talked about who we know and what, how it related to our characters and if there is a relation to that. And yes, to build chemistry, we hugged each other at night to sleep.
Yeah,
And the next
that's
day,
good,
and the next day when we did our first scene, we were already comfortable with how we hugged.
Yeah.
And we were comfortable. I mean, there was no kissing, no hanky panky, nothing involved, just a cuddle. And that by itself built so much chemistry between us that when we started working, everything just fell into place. And from what I saw and from what I heard from the people who were watching, our chemistry was wonderful. So thank you, Khalid, for trusting me with my process. And I mean, I know it was probably a little intimidating in the beginning, but I just wanted, to give that experience to us as a couple in this story.
Well, he's a
To
newcomer.
evolve
He's
in
very
that way.
lucky to have worked with someone like you who knows talaga how to motivate and
I
have
told- I
methods
told-
that could really help.
I told them, if when you start working, and I know you will because ang galing-galing mo, when you start working, not all actors or co-actors are gonna be as supportive. Again, coming from the theater world, I want an aggregate perfection. So I want everyone to do well so that the series or movie or theater play does well. So I will help as much as I can, and I will accept help as much as I can. But there are a lot of actors who are not that way, unfortunately, especially in mainstream television, in mainstream movies. They're not going to help you. They want to look better than you. Why are they going to help you? They're going to and then when you're bulol or you say something bad or you say something wrong on screen, they'll go like, "Oh, okay, grabe. Co-actor ko lang ang magkukwenta-kwenta. Ano to?" Tapos magmumukha silang magaling. And I find that terrible because you want the show to look good. You don't want yourself to look good because, I mean, they hired you already. So showcase you as a team player,
That's
not as a
perfect.
solo
Ganyan
player.
talaga pag theater, eh. That's the value of it. It's like a ball game, Every
is.
player is important, and you just have to have a perfect game.
It's
So,
a team.
Support each other.
It's a
Yep.
team.
So, si Nicco naman, it's a 2-in-1 question. What do you think of your on-screen chemistry? And in person, did you guys really get along? Sometimes your best friend sa series is actually someone you really hate in person. That happens, but you have to make it work on camera. So how was your on-screen and off-screen chemistry with Gold?
Actually, me and Gold were quite fortunate because we did a project before doing Love at the End of the World in Mindoro, same location. It was for Doiliacho, and it was a reenactment of his life story called The Father's Love. And we got to know each other during that project, and we got along right away, like instant click. I kind of see him as like my little brother sort of thing. And so going into Love at the End of the World, we already had that comfort level set up. And I was already I was vibing with Gold already. I liked him as a person, super chill guy, easy to get along with. We connected, sense of humor wise. So in terms of preparation with our characters and like doing workshops, we didn't even need it. I mean, it was just so smooth and beautiful already. And I didn't want to dig too deep into actually who Gold was, because our characters literally meet at the resort like 2 months before. So our relationship is really new and fresh in the series already. So I didn't want to know too much about him. I already had the colleague factor built up about Goldie. I thought he was just this cute little guy from the Philippines that I fell in love with. He had a cute little smile. I liked the way he looked at me. He made me feel warm inside. So I just wanted to keep that and push that further. And then I knew that our love for each other and sort of those deep emotions for each other would build naturally on set in our scenes. And thankfully it did. And Gold is a great actor. I loved working with him. And hopefully we can work on more projects together, kasi magaling talaga siya, and he's really a professional.
And for my last big question in this interview, this is slightly controversial because some people think that the BL set are really getting popular now. It's just another way of like peddling soft porn into the internet, or giving into the carnal desires of people by making really sexy shows just to cash in, diba? So how do you defend this issue? And of course, your series, which is coming out soon.
Nicco, you want to go first?
All right, I'll go first. Actually, I wouldn't really defend that issue because it's true. But I will defend our series because it's not soft porn and it's extremely artistic in the way it's told as a story. But I can't defend that initial statement that you had, because there's a lot of BL series that are on the market right now that are for that exactly. It's literally people shooting scenes of guys having sex. And I know they're doing it for the purpose of satisfying yung mga malibog na viewers. And I mean, if that's a category as well, and I can't disrespect those people, because people want to see that on TV as well. But if you're talking about making a legit series that has some substance, I mean, that's a whole other ballgame. And that's what our series is. Love at the End of the World is that series. It's so much more than, I mean, we have sexual scenes. Markki and Khaled have a lot of sexual scenes. I've got a lot of nude scenes as well. But around all of that sexual, hot and steamy beautifulness is a story as well of happiness, sadness, sorrow, all sorts of different things. And that's what makes Love at the End of the World this like beautiful creature.
Yeah. And
Okay. Sex sells, I tell you. And it's how it works. Like, sorry na lang kung hindi ka komportable sa katawan mo na maglait ng ganon. But in essence, sex does sell.
Yep.
And yeah, it'll be something that draws you in. But then once that happens, you understand that it's part of a story. It's part of a deeper story. Sex is something that we experience every day. I've talked about this at length a while ago, but it's something we experience every time we walk down. We're in an elevator and we see someone attractive walk in. The pheromones are there. We are smiling from ear to ear, even if we don't see them naked. We know that they're so attractive, and we're kilig, and we're like, oh my gosh, my carnal desires want to take over, and I want to attack this individual right now in the elevator because I find them so attractive. It happens. That is why the Philippines is one of the top Pornhub watchers in the world. Because
Really?
we're so repressed. And
didn't
because
know
we're
that.
so repressed and we're so, oh, that's so taboo. It's so taboo, but you yourself, behind everyone's back, because you'd rather do that, go on your laptop and watch porn. So like, in essence, all I'm trying to say is that sex is part of life. Because it is part of life, we have to understand that it needs to be showcased as well. If not, sometimes the experience between the couple cannot be delivered to the individual watching the way it should be. How are you going to understand the full chemistry of this couple without seeing the physical connection that these individuals have with each other? I mean, if that's part of how the story needs to be shown, and it's not shown to kids, because here apparently are 18, and it's shown to people who are actually adults and consenting, if you are so annoyed at watching two people show their love for each other, then go watch a sitcom. Period.
So, what will our audience expect from your character, Mark? No.
What will they expect from my character? They'll actually, you know me, very outspoken and very straightforward. I don't care if people like me or not. I'm just that kind of person. Mark is the opposite. Mark is a caring individual. He loves well, he loves the person he is taking care of very, 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 very much. It has turned into a familial love where he takes care of this individual and gives everything to make this individual feel special and feel like they are loved. I don't want to go too much into who this individual is, because to be honest, a lot of the sex scenes that we see on screen are between, or love scenes, or the couple that we see is between me and Kaloy or me and Khalid. But there is someone else in the story that I don't want to go into too much detail about. But he's someone that I really genuinely love. Maybe not someone who is aesthetically, you know, perfect for my character. But he is someone who's taken care of me and someone that I have taken care of. And with that said, you have to understand that this relationship that we have is beautiful. It's something that shows that people who are a family, people who feel that they've developed a relationship with someone as if they're a family member, they will do anything for them. They will give their life to them. They will allow them to experience the last 7 days, even if they're suffering, and not care about themselves, but care about the other person more than themselves. And that's what my character stands for. Everything good in the world.
Thank you. And what about Tony? Tony, right?
Yeah.
What can they expect from him? Or what can they learn from him?
If you've ever had the feeling of not being accepted by your family, your friends, whoever, then you can relate to Tony. If you've ever been depressed, felt sad in your life because of your situation, and even thought about committing suicide, you can relate to Tony. And if you want to see a naked man that doesn't really care about what other people think, then you're going to also like Tony.
So guys, thank you so much for being such a great sport and for being very honest and also sharing a lot of your ideas that ako mismo, it's my first time to hear about some of them, and every day we learn new things. So before we go, why not invite the audience to check out your upcoming TV series or web series?
I'm Markki Stroem, and please watch Love at the End of the World, coming up very, very, very soon in October. And it's a story of love and a story of, you know, the end of the world. Let's keep it at that. Let's keep them wanting more. Directed by Shandy Bacolod and Temporary Insanity Pictures. Thank you so much for having me.
Nicco?
Yeah, hey guys, my name is Nicco Locco, and I'm promoting our new BL erotic thriller series starring a lot of great actors, directed by Shandy Bacolod. It'll be releasing in October, no definite date and no definite platform as of yet, but trust me, guys, it's going to be on a big platform. Just stay tuned. We'll be releasing some more teasers and an official trailer very soon. We're very excited for you guys to watch this series, and you can expect so much sex, suspense, thrill, comedy at Iba Pa. So just stay tuned, guys. Maraming salamat to Brandsasia viewers as well. Thank you for watching our episode, and stay posted for our series.
Once again, thank you so much, Markki. Thank you, then, Nicco. And thank you to everybody who watched tonight. Hope to see you guys soon and hope to work with you someday. And everybody, if you like this series, malapit na siya no October. So I'm sure just check out the YouTube channel of Temporary Insanity. I'm sure you guys are going to be dropping more bombshells for all their audience para mapagulat before the actual release in October. And kami naman, if you enjoyed our show here at Brandsasia, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell for more updates coming. This has been Lance Raymundo, and this is Rated R. See you soon.